Well, I was going to say that last week we did bed chem for heels class.
Ooh.
And that was really fun. I wasn't supposed to go because my goal was to do heels class every other week.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did that first week, and then I saw that this week was Sabrina Carpenter, and I was like, I kind of have to go.
Do you do a new song every class?
It's a new song and a new dance every class.
My brain. I don't know if I could handle it.
So like by the end, you get like 2 run-throughs of doing it all the way through, and then you're done with it after.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it was just a fun dance to do.
Hell
But
yeah.
because that song's kind of perfectly made for heels class.
Definitely. Man, I wish I could dance. I really do. But if I could, I'd be too powerful. And that's why God nerfs me with that one. Be like, girl, you cannot be that sexy and be able to dance. Gotta leave some of the rest of us.
Welcome to the Siren Songbook, a podcast where we discuss female artists, their music, their history, and the impact they've made on the music industry. Join us each month as we pick a new inspirational artist and celebrate exactly what it is that makes them so magical. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Siren Songbook. I'm Amy.
I'm Kasey.
And this is episode 14 of the Siren Songbook. I literally just looked it up. Oh my God, I just looked it up and then my brain went, what number was it again? Episode 14 of the Siren Songbook. Today we're doing Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah.
I have become obsessed. I was not going into this thinking that I would find one of my new favorite artists. I'm not going to lie. I was like, I like some of her music.
Yeah.
She's got fun stuff. I'll enjoy this. Like I see her stuff on TikTok and I enjoy it. Like the have you tried this one?
Yeah.
Videos come across my page all the time. Because I'm queer. And so it comes across my page all the time, but I don't know that I was expecting to find my favorite artist. The amount of times I have listened to this album.
Yeah. Dude, so this album Short and Sweet came out last year, and my sister and I have had it on repeat for the entire year. I think this was my most listened to. Well, that's not true. Sorry. Deeper Well from Kasey Musgraves was my most listened to album last year, but this was number 2. Spotify told me, so I know it's correct. I absolutely loved Short and Sweet, and I'd heard bits and pieces of her music before, and I didn't so when she was still signed to Hollywood Records under Disney, I did hear some of that music growing up, and I was kind of like, it's not for me. That's cool. It's just not for me.
Yeah.
And then when there's such a switch in her artistry and her songwriting when she moves to Island Records, with Emails I Can't Send, and I didn't listen.
Song.
Dude, that whole album. Ooh.
Yeah.
I heard, when Nonsense became popular, because of the outro she was doing, that's kind of when it went on my radar, and I was like, oh, interesting. And then I saw bits and pieces of her when she was the opener for Taylor Swift, on the Eras tour last year. And maybe it was last year, it was maybe the year before actually. And I was like, oh, okay, wait, actually this is really good. And then Espresso was debuted at Coachella, and I was like, wait a minute. What is this?
Yeah, I vaguely remember those videos coming across my page. I think I just put it off for so long because like I said, I wasn't expecting to like it so much.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I think I just put pop princess in my head, Disney darling.
Yeah. I think that sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just going to say, and I knew that she wasn't doing, obviously, the songs are not shying away from being nothing short of risque.
Yeah.
But for some reason I still wasn't putting together in my head that I might thoroughly enjoy this album.
Oh, dude. Yeah. There were so many nights last year where like my sister and I are just like driving in the middle of nowhere with the windows down, and we're just like screaming like the bridge to Juno or something. Like I had like so many great memories attached to the like I will say, okay, here's the thing. This is I think what I love about Short and Sweet specifically is that it's just so fun. Oh my God. Yeah. I love fun music, and I'm the type of person that loves to like, honestly, like I listen to the most like dreary shit like all the time. But like I put on Short and Sweet when I want to have a good time. It's just like serotonin. It's audio serotonin.
It really is. I put it on when I go on my walks a lot. If I'm not listening to my affirmation playlist, I'm listening to that. Yeah. Because it's like you said, it's like a pure shot of serotonin. The lyrics are clever. They're funny. And then it also makes me feel sexy. There's something about music that makes me feel sexy that I really like.
Yeah. I mean, there's some songs on the album that there's like moments of reflection and things like that.
Yeah.
But like in general, oh, so good. And like more specifically, I think that what I really loved about it is that it's not just like a fun album, it's smart. Lyrically, It is such a smart album. There were so many lines listening to it that I was like, fuck, I wish that's so funny. As we dive into it more, I have so many lines written down that I'm just like, she's so clever. You can tell that she's also a comedic actor. Yeah. By the way she writes. Oh yeah. 'Cause she's hilarious. Honestly, like she really is. And I think that these Emails I Can't Send and Short and Sweet like really showcase that. When I was listening to a lot of her earlier work when she was still signed under Disney, I mean, more than anything, it just sounded like a younger person making music. Like I wasn't sitting there like, this shit blew. Like, no, I don't think that way at all. But, you know, there were some songs that I know were popular, like On Purpose or Thumbs, off her album Evolution. And like, they were okay songs, you know, or like, I think her, you know, Smoke and Fire I listened to and I was like, okay, lyrically, maybe not my thing, but there's such a transition between the music that version of Sabrina wrote and the version of Sabrina that's the person that we've come to know. So it's been really cool to see that artistic evolution. Like she's really built up such a strong ethos as an artist. I think that's like, oh man, for me, that's a huge thing when it comes to knowing whether or not someone's going to be like a superstar. Like those earlier records, you can even see it in like the album artwork. Like, who is that? Like, I'm still asking who this person is. And you look at the album artwork specifically for like Short and Sweet is a perfect example. The ethos of this particular album and Sabrina Carpenter is who she is now is so like, it's so obvious. In every bit of work, like the way that her hair is curled, all of the promotional material, the little, like, I forgot what they're called, the little like tiny like looping videos that play when you're watching something or listening to something on Spotify, like everything just fits this universe that she created for it. And I think that it's just so good. It's somebody has branded themselves really, really well when they are now a character on Fortnite. Yeah. Like I think the biggest thing everyone always says is like, you've really made it if people can dress up for you as a Halloween costume. Yeah. And like the Short and Sweet version of Sabrina Carpenter, I would immediately know, oh, you're like, well, even like you started to see that evolution in Emails I Can't Send with like, I was going to say even her cover art for that one. Like, I could see. You could dress like that had like such a strong presence about it too. That heart on the laptop, there were a lot of heart cutouts in her clothing during that era. Same thing, and that carried into Short and Sweet too. Like even little things like that, the sequins, you know, just the very specific vibe. Like it's so well marketed. And what I love about it is that it's not just well marketed and the ethos is there, but the music is so good too. And I love this is such a small thing, but like even her
there's like the emails I didn't send, and then emails I didn't send deluxe, and then short and sweet, and then short and sweet deluxe. And like the pictures are just like from the same photo shoot, but just like a different photo taken.
Yeah, like bending a little more or something like that. Yeah.
And I thought that was really cool. It's something small, but I noticed it.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I love the cover art of Short and Sweet Deluxe. In my opinion, I think that should have been the cover art for the regular Short and Sweet. But like for her to release an extra couple of songs for the Short and Sweet Deluxe, and those are all just as good, and I honestly think they should have been on the album. Oh, like Busy Woman, oh my god, or 15 minutes. 15 minutes is so much fun.
It is.
Do a lot in 15
minutes.
So fun. But
well, do we want to jump into her history a little bit?
Yeah.
And go through it and then work our way up to, because I'm excited to talk about some of her lyrics.
Yeah, definitely.
And emails I can't send, and short and sweet I have so many written down.
Yeah. Sabrina Ann Carpenter was born May 11th, 1999, so she had just turned 26 years old. But when we were filming this or recording this podcast, she's an American singer, songwriter, and actress, and she first gained prominence starring on the Disney Channel series Girl Meets World that was airing on Disney Channel from 2014 to 2017. She signed with Disney-owned Hollywood Records and released her debut single, Can't Blame a Girl for Trying, in 2014, followed by the studio album Eyes Wide Open, which came out in 2015. Her later albums included Evolution, Singular Act 1, and Singular Act 2, which came out in 2019. She moved to Island Records in 2021 and released her fifth studio album, Emails I Can't Send, in 2022, which was supported by the singles Nonsense and Feather. Her sixth studio album, Short and Sweet, in 2014, debuted atop the Billboard 200, produced the top 3 Hot 100 singles, Espresso, Please, 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 and Taste, and won 2 Grammy Awards. Carpenter has appeared in films including Adventures in Babysitting, The Hate You Give, The Short Story of the Long Road, Clouds, and Emergency, and she also starred in the Netflix films Tall Girls 1 and 2, Work It, the latter of which she executive produced, A Girl That Can Do It All, and on Broadway, she played Katie Heron in the musical Mean Girls. Short-lived, but
I did not know that.
Yeah. It's so interesting because, and we'll get into that, but more specifically, she only played Katie Heron on Broadway for one day before the COVID-19 pandemic shut down live theater, which is such a bummer. But
I wonder if that's going to come out on I wonder if they filmed it or anything.
I don't know if they did a pro shot. That would be interesting. She grew up in Quakerville, that's crazy. Quakertown, Pennsylvania. I just made a name up. And she has 3 older sisters and was homeschooled. The 4 are nieces of actress Nancy Cartwright, who you might know as the voice of, I believe, Marge Simpson. Longtime voice of Bart Simpson on The Simpsons. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's been doing like that since the 80s, I think.
I vaguely remember seeing something about that, and it totally left my mind.
I accidentally closed my. Hold on.
That's really cool, though.
I know. It's such an interesting bit of information there. Around the age of 10, she began posting videos on YouTube of herself singing Christina Aguilera and Adele songs, and her father built a recording studio for her to fuel her passion for music. In 2009, she placed 3rd in a singing contest, the Next Miley Cyrus Project, run by Miley Cyrus. I did not know that thing happened, but I think that's really cool. Carpenter's first acting role was in 2011 on a guest role on the NBC drama series Law and Order Special Victims Unit. Around the same time, she performed as part of the Hunan Broadcasting System's Gold Mango Audience Festival program in China, singing Something's Got a Hold on Me. In the summer of 2012, Carpenter had a recurring role on the Fox sitcom The Goodwin Games. She appeared in Horns and recorded Smile for the compilation album Disney Fairies, Faith Trust, and Pixie Dust, inspired by the Disney Fairies film series. The song charted on Radio Disney, and she had a recurring role as Princess Vivian in Sophia the First, for which she performed the song All You Need with Ariel Winter.
I used to watch Sophia the First with my babies when I was a nanny.
Oh, that's cute. So she's been around in your life for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah.
In January of 2013, Carpenter was cast in a Disney Channel series, Girl Meets World, which was a spinoff of Boy Meets World as Maya Hart. The show consisted of 72 episodes and concluded on January 20th, 2017. Carpenter recorded the show's theme song along with her co-star Rowan Blanchard. And from 2010 to 2013, Carpenter released various independent promotional singles before signing a 5-album deal with Disney label Hollywood Records in 2014. In March of 2014, Carpenter released her debut single, Can't Blame a Girl for Trying, which was co-written by Meghan Trainor, which I think based on like timelines for that, this was like right after Meghan Trainor popped off with All About That Bass. The single received... I think
so.
Yeah. The single received positive reviews and titled her debut EP of the same name that was released in April of 2014. In July of 2014, Carpenter contributed lead vocals to the Disney Channel Circle of Stars cover version of Do You Want to Build a Snowman? And she recorded Stand Out for the Disney Channel movie How to Build a Better Boy, which premiered on August of 2014. So she was really busy in the year of 2014. She also released her first Christmas single, Silver Nights, that same year. But I think that to do like a little bit of a sweeping overview of some of that music from her time at Hollywood Records, she released Eyes Wide Open, which was that came out in 2015 and peaked on number 43 on the Billboard Top 100. Her song Will Be the Stars served as a lead single for that debut studio album. It sold over 12,000 copies in its first week, and upon release, the album received positive reviews and went on to win 2 Radio Disney Music Awards. The album was followed with a second single, Eyes Wide Open, and in August, Sabrina Carpenter performed at the D23 Expo. She also released her second Christmas single, Christmas the Whole Year Round, which I think is really cool. In February of 2016, she released a standalone single titled Smoke and Fire, and she performed the song at the 2016 Radio Disney Music Awards. She also did a couple of extra things. Obviously, Evolution, her next album, came out in October of 2016, debuted at number 28 on the Billboard 200, selling 13,000 copies in its first week. So doing better than the album that came out the year before. But what I find really interesting is that she signed her record label or signed her record deal in 2014. And by 2016, 2 years later, she already had 2 full albums out. Like they were moving her quick. I'm sure that
they do in the Disney world.
Yeah.
Like I remember like even when I was like really into Jonas Brothers when I was younger, and like they had new songs every few months coming out.
Man.
Music videos on the Disney Channel all the time, you know.
Yeah. She's still pretty young at this age. Like, she's the same age as my sister. And so, you know, by 2016, she's got 2 albums out. My sister was like 17 years old. So that means that's how old she was. That's crazy. Yeah. 17 years old, already have 2 albums under your belt, a whole TV show you're still working on because that show went until 2017. So, you know, I mean, props to her. That's quite a bit.
And she was, I don't know if you ever watched Girl Meets World, but she was my favorite part of that show.
I needed to find some actual episodes and watch that, but I think by that time I had like told myself I'm too old for Disney Channel. Whether or not that's true is, you know.
That was one of those where I went back and watched it a few years ago, like after it had already come out and they had everything.
Okay.
But I watched it because I watched Boy Meets World as a kid, so I was like, oh, I want to see the old characters, and you know, it's very. There's parts of it that are very, you know, teen Disney Channel show, you know.
Yeah.
But there was some really good parts in it too. There were parts of it that like felt comforting to like go back and watch it.
Yeah.
Nostalgia and whatnot.
Yeah.
But she was my favorite part of the show.
I'll have to go back. I'll have to go back and catch a few episodes.
Yeah, she was like the Sean Hunter of Girl Meets World.
I'm going to be honest, I did not watch Boy Meets World, so I don't know what that means.
So you don't know what that means.
I'm so sorry.
It was Corey's best. So she was the best friend to Sean was the best friend to Corey.
Oh, okay.
She was the best friend to Corey's daughter. And like kind of the bad girl, the rough around the edges.
Yeah. Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
type character.
Yeah. For sure. Okay, yeah.
But she was funny. She was my favorite. I was like, she's a good actress.
Hell yeah.
So, she's got great comedic timing.
Yes, that's very apparent in the stuff that she puts out now too. I think that's really cool.
Yeah. We were talking about her earlier albums. And like her first one, Eyes Wide Open, I wrote down that I loved Middle of Starting Over. That song I actually did put on my affirmations playlist too.
Oh, nice.
I wasn't really expecting to find anything that I really, really liked in that album. And you can, like you said, you can hear that it's like young girl writing music. Maybe that's why I liked it, just because it reminded me of me when I was writing at that age, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I would say the same thing about, that's exactly what that feels like for sure.
And then I did laugh at her song Too Young, where she's talking about how she's too young to be falling in love and people saying she's too young. And I'm like, girl, you are.
Yeah. It's so funny because like I remember when I was like 13 writing like songs about love and my mom's like, you've never been in love. And I was like, well, this is what I think it's like. And now if I listen to that music as an adult, I'd be like, child, please.
Yeah. But the other albums I kind of just wrote like Evolution. I just wrote, it's a fun album and you can hear the progression of her music, but nothing really stood out to me particularly. You can just hear that she's like growing and experimenting a little bit.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff from I remember with Evolution specifically, also because EVO is capitalized. Is it Evolution? Is that how it's pronounced? I don't know.
I don't know how. Probably.
And it was either
maybe it's Evo.
Maybe it was Thumbs. No, it wasn't Thumbs. It was On Purpose that I thought was really interesting. I'm like pulling up the lyrics right now. Your eyes crashing into me, was I accidentally falling in love? Your words didn't mean to heal the hurt, were coincidentally more than enough. Which, not really sure what that means. But I totally... oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just saying it sounds like angsty teenager lyrics.
Yeah, definitely. And it's... what I really appreciate about it is that it's like such a mark of like where she has grown as a lyricist. I thought Thumbs was really cool. It had like a really cool melody because it goes da, 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 da. It like climbs up, which I think is really nice. But there's so many lyrics in the front. I feel like this is like the first we get to see some of like the like lyricism that you might see in Emails I Can't Send. In terms of like the length of these phrases, like somewhere in the world there's a father and a mother, and the father is a son who has a mother. The mother has a daughter who gets married to the brother of a mother, and they're all just trying to multiply with one another. A lot of lyrics. I feel like,
yeah,
but it's like it seems like almost like a snapshot of what is to come for her as a lyricist within the next like 5 years.
Yeah, I think it's cool to watch that growth. That like, you know, we were even. You know, we're doing The Artist's Way, and they say like you just have to write the things and get them out there, and it's kind of neat to go back and watch her as a teenager like learning how to do this in front of us.
100%.
I also Singular Act 1 I think was maybe the first time I heard about her because I heard of the song Sue Me.
Yeah.
And that was like maybe the first song that I recognized when I was listening through the albums. Mm-hmm. But I do think that she like, it's neat to watch the progression to where she is now.
I agree 100%. I think that like, so in February 2020, she releases an R&B single titled Honeymoon Fades, which I think feels very much like inspired by Ariana Grande, which I know she opened for Ariana Grande during her last tour, which I think is such a cool little bit of information on her not on her last tour. She opened for Ariana Grande on her Dangerous Woman tour in Sao Paulo. So I think that's like, it's very obvious that there's a lot of inspiration there in Honeymoon Fades. Yeah. It's such a pretty song. And I think like the first like adult single that she released, not in terms of like the lyricism, but just like it sounded more mature. But a month after she releases this song, she makes her Broadway debut with Mean Girls. The show closed the day after Sabrina's debut during the COVID-19 pandemic, like we were talking about a little bit ago. She performed she did 2 performances. In May of 2020, she performed Your Mother and Mine on the ABC broadcast television special, The Disney Family Sing-Along Volume 2. And she had a recurring role in Royalties, for which she performed Perfect Song. But let me see, where am I? In July of 2020, Carpenter released the song Let Me Love You for the Netflix film Work It, for which she starred and executive produced. Her role received generally positive reviews, and the film soundtrack featured Zara Larsson's Wow, which led Carpenter to feature on the remix of the song released in September of that year. In October, Carpenter starred in the Disney Plus film Clouds, based on the life of Zach Soybeck, I believe is his name. She contributed to the film's soundtrack, and in December of 2020, Carpenter was listed under Forbes 30 Under 30 list for the Hollywood and Entertainment. But now we're going to get into Emails I Can't Send, which I'm super excited about. In January of 2021, Carpenter announced that she had signed with Universal Music Group's Island Records. She released her first single under the label Skin on January 22nd, 2021. The song peaked at number 48 and 33 on the Billboard Hot 100s and the Billboard Global 200, becoming her first entry on both charts. Carpenter performed the song on The Late Late Show with James Corden and the 32nd Annual GLAAD Media Awards. And in September, she appeared in the 3rd volume of Prime Video's Savage X Fenty Show, which I think is so slay. On September 9th, 2021, Carpenter released Skinny Dipping, which I think is such a beautiful song.
I love that song.
It was the lead single for her then forthcoming 5th studio album. She released Fast Times on February 18th, 2022 as a follow-up single, and the same month she appeared in Tall Girl 2, which is the sequel to the first movie that she starred in. In May of 2022, Carpenter appeared on Amazon Studios' film Emergency, which had premiered at the 2022 Sundance Film Festival in that January. So she's, again, still doing quite a bit of work, even though she's still trying to release her music. But on July 15th of 2022, Carpenter released her 5th studio album, Emails I Can't Send, which debuted and peaked at number 23 on the Billboard 200 with 18,000 album equivalent units sold. The album was further promoted with the singles Vicious, Because I Liked a Boy, and Nonsense. The Emails I Can't Send tour began in September of that year, and Nonsense, the album's 5th single, went viral on TikTok due to Carpenter performing newly improvised, sexually suggestive outros for the song on tour. The song peaked at number 56 on the Hot 100 and was certified platinum by the RIAA and reached the top 10 on the U.S. pop airplay chart. In March of 2023, Carpenter released a deluxe version of Emails I Can't Send, and one of the bonus tracks, Feather, became the final single in August of 2023, peaking at number 1. Oh my God. Holy fuck. Sorry, a bird just flew into my window.
Oh my God, you okay?
Yeah. Well, holy fuck, that scared me so bad. What the fuck? It was oh my Jesus Christ.
Deep breaths.
Okay, that was crazy. One of the bonus tracks, Feather, became the final single on August 2023, peaking at number 1 on the U.S. pop song charts and number 21 on the Billboard Hot 100. She performed the song at the 2023 MTV Video Music Awards pre-show and the Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve. The song's music video, released on October of 2023, drew polarized reactions due to its violent imagery and was filmed at the Blessed Virgin Mary Catholic Church in Brooklyn, New York. The pastor apologized for allowing the shoot unaware of the content. Carpenter responded, stating advance permission was granted and noting Jesus was a carpenter. Bishop Robert J. Brennan relieved the pastor of his duties and held a mass of reparation to restore the church's sanctity. The investigation into the priest who granted permission uncovered evidence that led to the indictment of New York City Mayor Eric Adams.
Oh my God.
Carpenter was the opening act for the Eras Tour by Taylor Swift for a number of its Latin American and Australian and Singaporean shows throughout 2023 and 2024. She released a cover of Swift's I Knew You Were Trouble as a Spotify special and said that opening for Swift was a childhood dream come true. Carpenter describes her experience at the Eras Tour as unlike any crowd I've ever played before. And on November 17th, 2023, Carpenter released a Christmas-themed EP, Fruitcake, featuring A Nonsense Christmas, which was released a year earlier. So that is the era of emails I can't send.
I did not know. Okay, so Feather, I knew that song was a smash, and I remember the controversy around the music video. I went and watched it, and I was like, they're kind of being, in my opinion, they're being fucking ridiculous. But
I think it's very funny.
Like, yeah.
I also think it's hilarious.
The video's hilarious, first of all.
I agree. I think it really shows off a funny side, and it's also it's one of the most streamed songs on the album. Nonsense being number one. It's got 1.2 billion streams on Spotify. Feather having 900,000. And Feather is such a fun song. I really like that
Feather
song.
is a really fun song. And then but even the parts that are on the there's no violent parts in the church. It's mostly just her. I don't know. It was all stupid, but I remember going down that rabbit hole one night.
Yeah.
I think that was one of my first big introductions to Sabrina Carpenter. And other than I had totally forgotten about the sexual outros to Nonsense until you mentioned them. I forgot that those were a thing. But I did write down, I love in Nonsense the line where she goes, "When you got your arms around me, it feels so good. I had to jump the octave."
Yeah.
And she jumps the octave.
I think that's it's such a good, I feel like Nonsense is such a great prequel to Short and Sweet. Truly. Yeah. In terms of being able to show off her humor as a lyricist and also her really crazy vocal ability. But I will say honestly, I know a lot of people talk about her lyricism, but I think that her melodic writing is really cool. Her melodies are really, really nice. In songs like that specifically.
And they're catchy.
Yeah. No, I mean, I know that she said that when she recorded that song, she had a bunch of extra outros she was just kind of coming up with on the spot in the studio, and realized that she had so many different ideas that she started using them on tour. And then as somewhat of a writing exercise, then she tried to write these Nonsense outros to kind of go with whatever city she was in, which that caught my attention because I thought that was really cool. And immediately my thought was, how do you remember that? How do you not mess that up? Oh my gosh. Because immediately I'd be like, what did I write earlier? I forgot. Shit.
But yeah, I agree with you when you said that Nonsense is a prequel to Short and Sweet. And then she was writing all those different lyrics, and it's the first intro to her sexually explicit stuff in Short and Sweet too.
Yeah.
I also Emails I Can't Send, that one ripped my heart open, from end to end.
Yeah.
And I think that was the first time I saw, because I was so used to her. At the time that I saw Emails I Couldn't Send come across my Instagram, it was after I had been watching so many of her different outros for Nonsense. So it was something so completely different for me to see from her. Yeah. And that song is so fucking honest.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think that it's also such a great opener. Yeah. Yeah, I wish I could see what you did October 13th at 10:15. Were you really asleep? Were you lying to me and the family? There's no us and us when I'm lacking trust. You want to discuss? Ugh, you disgust me. Yeah. It's just such an honest, it just seems like she just kind of opened her diary and just started singing what was on the page, which I thought was really cool and very open. Yeah. I feel like my favorite track on this record is actually Tornado Warnings. I don't know why I've gravitated so much to this song specifically. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think melodically, I think it's really cool. We were never in the park, talking on a seesaw, teetering with our feelings in the dark, ignoring tornado warnings. It's such it just is so talky, which I think is very interesting. But I don't know why. That song is just one that I think about quite a bit in terms of oh, what is my favorite song from this record? I think talking about lying to her therapist, I'm lying to my therapist. I deserve an hour in a week to focus on my thoughts, not so obsessed with yours. I can't hear myself speak. I deserve my own consideration.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wish I kept some of my feelings in the basement so I'd still have some left. I think that's great. Yeah.
Such good lyrics. And like,
yeah.
I feel like the thing is like she's so clever with her lyrics, but also there's so many songs where she's just so fucking like you said, just opening her diary and writing it. Like she does both so well.
I read that her process for songwriting was coming up with titles first, which I think is so obvious in the, like, because I know that, so Kasey Musgraves does the same thing, and she for like the year anniversary of Deeper Well released like a little mini doc of like her kind of working on it, and I like took note of that because in the room they had like a whiteboard where they were just coming up with song names that sound really cool and interesting. And then, Kasey was saying like, I'll see this song title like Deeper Well or whatever and go, well, what does that sound like? And this is like the same approach that Sabrina has taken. And I think that like I think for me initially what drew me to Tornado Warnings, like wanting to click on it to hear that song was, well, that's a really interesting title. That's just really clever. I want to know what that's about. Like, I think like that's such a Nashvilleian kind of way to write music, where it's like top lining in that sense of writing for the title. When you do something like that, like if we're breaking down like the actual like science behind the songwriting of this, like when you do something like that, there's no way of it going off track. I feel like maybe with some of her earlier work it was writing the song and then picking the title from that. I don't know if that's true, it just kind of felt that way, where like this type of songwriting, it seems like she's had a lot of like co-writes under her belt, like just going in and writing with another person, and like kind of like building up that songwriting muscle to come up with something like, here's an idea I've come up with. It's called Tornado Warnings. Well, that sounds fascinating. What would that song be about? And to equate tornado warnings to like ignoring the issues that are popping up in a relationship, I think is so cool. I think it's just such an interesting way to do that.
And I think like, sometimes when I write, I like do the chorus first. I think it's vaguely the same because usually I feel like my song title comes from the chorus. Yeah. But like I feel like when you write, like you said, like you have the overarching theme in mind first, then it's so much harder to go off track.
100%. And that's definitely something that like, not to bring myself into this, but like moving forward as a songwriter, like I definitely want to explore that more, because I'm the type of person that will just like write and then kind of see like if a title pops out. But then unfortunately that's oftentimes leads to like really boring titles to songs, or like I have a nickname for a song that just never changes because the title would be so boring. But what's really cool about coming up with ways like this is like, well, what would a song called Feather sound like? It, like if like you think of the word feather and you think, well, what could this be about? And for her, like it was, getting rid of the weight of a boy. Like I feel so much lighter like a feather with you off my mind. Oh, amazing. Yeah. Or like that was it I remember what I was gonna say about Nonsense now is that like I love too, you were talking about how she had so many ideas for that song. Yeah. And she like started writing the outros, but even in the recording, like at the end she goes, this isn't gonna make the album. And then it did. And it's one of her biggest hits. Yeah. Well, at that time it was one of her biggest hits. At that time, yeah. Yeah. She's blown herself out of the water. If we weren't looking into the future. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But I think that's so cool how like she wrote the title, came up, and like same thing with Nonsense. Like I'm trying to think of the words off the top of my head right now. I gotta look them up. But like just the nonsense words she's saying in it too. Like sounds like blah 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 blee. I don't want no one else, baby. I'm in too deep. Here's a little song I wrote. It's about you and me. Like just the whole like sounds like blah 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 blee part like sticks out in my mind because it's called Nonsense. Yeah. Like she can't speak
got me thinking nonsense, got me talking nonsense.
Yeah.
And again, like, it's something she wrote. You can tell that she wrote that off of the idea of the word nonsense. Like,
yeah, I just sit here and I like assume that writing sessions with her gotta be like so much fun because like she's so sharp and can like equate a lot of this stuff together, and it's not coming from, oh well, they just have somebody else come in and write the song, she's just in the room. Like, that obviously can't be true because of how it in Short and Sweet, it's like literally this kind of like what the magic of nonsense is on like steroids in like Short and Sweet. I wanted to like also talk about like Because I Liked a Boy. And I don't want to sit here and speculate about a person's personal life because we're talking about her as an artist. But what's specific about this song that I remember this catching my attention when the album came out was that Olivia Rodrigo had like hit a gold mine with the song Driver's License, which I'm not trying to like bring up this fucking feud or whatever, but I mean, it is such a great song. But I guess it was about this boy that they were in the same show together, and then at a different point in time he dated Sabrina Carpenter for a little bit, and then everyone just decided because they liked Olivia Rodrigo's song that she was this bad person. And I just saw like a lot of flack about Sabrina Carpenter specifically because, and there was no confirmation about whether or not like Olivia Rodrigo was even talking about her. But that's kind of like, I'm pretty certain that that's what this song is about. Like, I feel like I remember her saying something about this, and I don't want to speculate, but I think about the lyrics are so, like, I remember when Driver's License came out and like everybody on planet Earth, because we were all stuck inside, was all stuck inside because the pandemic, just bored out of their minds and speculating about everything and blah, 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 blah. And like, she got so much flack because of it. And like the chorus, or like now I'm a homewrecker, I'm a slut, I got death threats filling up semi trucks, tell me who I am, guess I don't have a choice, all because I liked a boy.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's just so, it feels so heartbreaking because like, it just, like, you could tell it's coming like, it almost feels like, especially in the end where she's like, kind of like doing the high notes with, oh boy, or whatever. Like, I'm not going to sing. That's so bad. But just like, you can feel that like hurt in her heart because like she was like an innocent bystander in this situation. Like, obviously if you really like another artist, you want them to feel this sense of justice, and as songwriters you're going to talk about the things that are going on in your life, but like, I think she got like like the short end of the stick of all of this. And so like it there's this like feeling of like exhaustion in the song, just like the way that she sings it, which I think makes the song so magical. Well,
and that happens again to her when Taste comes out with Shawn Mendes and
oh my gosh, yeah, and Camilo Cabello or whatever.
Yeah. But I love the way that she handles it. Like, we have her heartbreak and how she feels about like, people saying all these things about her. And then this second time around, like you said, Short and Sweet is like her emails I can't send on steroids.
Yeah.
But she like, a lot of people say, again, this is all speculation, but a lot of people say that Taste was written about
there's a lot of lore behind all of this. It seems like timeline wise quite obvious. We could start going into Short and Sweet if you'd like to.
Okay, yeah. Let's go ahead and dive into Short and Sweet.
So that was released in March of 2024. Carpenter featured on Norwegian singer-songwriter Girl in Red's single "You Need Me Now," and then on April 11th, Carpenter released the single Espresso and performed it at the 2023 Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival the following day. Espresso topped the Billboard Global 200, peaked at number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart, and went on to win the MTV Video Music Award for Song of the Year. At the end of the year, Espresso became the second most streamed song of the year on Spotify at 1.6 billion. Carpenter followed with the second single, Please, 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 on June 6, 2024, which became her second global chart topper and her first U.S. Hot 100 number 1 single. With these songs, she became the first female artist to hold the number 1 and 2 positions in the UK singles chart for 3 weeks in a row. Carpenter released her 6th studio album, Short and Sweet, on August 23rd, debuting at number 1 on the Billboard 200 with 362,000 units sold in its first week. All tracks charted in the top 50 of the Hot 100. At the 67th Annual Grammy Awards, Carpenter earned 6 nominations, including Best New Artist, while the album was nominated for Best Pop Vocal Album and Album of the Year. It won Best Pop Vocal Album, and Espresso won Best Pop Solo Performance. The third single, Taste, debuted at number 2 on the Hot 100, making Carpenter the first act since the Beatles to chart their first 3 top 5 hits within a single week. The first 3 singles stayed in the top 10 for 7 consecutive weeks, a record for any female artist. Carpenter also became the first artist in 71 years to spend 20 weeks atop the UK singles chart in a calendar year, with Taste as the longest running UK number 1 of 2024. A deluxe version featuring 5 additional tracks, including a duet of Please, Please, Please with Dolly Parton, was released on February 14th, Valentine's Day, 2025, which I think is absolutely insane. The month of September of 2024, she embarked on the Short and Sweet tour, which was her first arena tour. And Carpenter produced and starred in the Netflix holiday special, A Nonsense Christmas with Sabrina Carpenter, released on December 6th, and featured duets with Chappell Roan, Tyla, Shania Twain, among others.
It was really good. I did watch that.
I also watched. It was very cute. I really did like that. I really did like it a lot. It's such a good song, or such a good album. It's primarily a pop and bubblegum pop record with country, folk, disco, rock, and R&B influences. Short and Sweet was produced by Julian Bonetta, John Ryan, Ian Kirkpatrick, and Jack Antonoff. The album explores Carpenter's love life and her perspectives on 2020's dating. The title is a reference to the emotional impact of her shortest romantic relationship, as well as her short stature and the album's brief runtime. She stated that Short and Sweet is her second big girl album, feeling complete creative control of her music, starting from Emails I Can't Send, her first album with Island Records. Such a good freaking. I have so many thoughts. I have so many thoughts.
There's so much to say about this album. I guess we can go back and start. We were talking about Taste. Please, Please, Please both had relationship theories going on.
Mm-hmm.
Her boyfriend at the time was in the music video.
Yes.
Of Please, Please, Please. So that one's a little more not necessarily even a theory.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's part of it went viral because they were great songs. Part of it went viral because people are doing that whole inspector bullshit.
Oh yeah,
breaking down everything.
It's the same thing that Taylor Swift has to deal with on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
But I think, start of the album, Taste is the opening track. First line of the whole album. Oh, I leave quite an impression, 5 feet to be exact. Nice, dude. Nice.
Great opener.
So fucking good. It's such a good opener for the whole album, not even just the song. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my favorite lines from it is and it's just such a small little line in it, but she goes, makes paintings with his tongue, la 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 la.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah. And that's the same that's the same sort of vibe as Nonsense. Yeah, in the sense of the song being called Nonsense and then her just making nonsense words, literally la la, kind of showing off the use of the tongue. I think that's really tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah. It's smart, it's clever to me. That's why it stood out to me.
I love
like,
the music video
like you
too.
said,
It's very
making
like
use of the tongue to.
yes, like she's very like I know a lot of people when they talk about songwriting they always say show don't tell, and this is like the epitome of showing not telling.
Yeah.
Like instead of being like, oh, and sometimes he eats me out, like
Yeah.
makes paintings with his tongue. La 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 la. I just love that. I think that's so cool. I think the music video is also such a cool idea. It's like that very death becomes her thing. I love
Also the course too. Like just like you'll just have to taste me while he's kissing you.
Yeah.
Like that's such a
brutal. Love it though.
It's brutal. It's such a vivid picture. It's
yeah.
Like she paints it so well without saying like you said, like without just flat out going like he went down on me.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Next track on the album, because I want to dive into like most of these songs because I love them so much. Please, 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 the second single. I remember the very first time, literally my sister and I had this song memorized in like 3 or 4 listens, and that never happens for me. So you know that this song is catchy as fuck. If I learn the song in like 3 listens, immediately I know I have good judgment. I know I have good taste. It's funny and it's ironic that I feel this way. I promise them that you're different and everyone makes mistakes, but just don't. But oh my God, like literally every line I love. I heard that you're an actor, so act like a stand-up guy. Oh my gosh. I love it so much. I think that we've all been with somebody that embarrasses the fuck out of us. And not in like they act like a goof in public. It's that they, more specifically, it's like they don't know how to treat me well. And everyone kind of looks at me and they're like, man, girl, this ain't it. This isn't the right person. Yeah. And you don't want them to act like that. Like, please don't fucking cheat on me. Don't embarrass me like that, dude. Me. Literally, heartbreak is one thing. My ego's another. I beg you, don't embarrass me, motherfucker. Oh, yeah. I love it. And then the second verse where she just goes into it and she's just like, well, I have a fun idea. Maybe we should just stay inside. Like, you can't embarrass me.
I know you're craving some fresh air, but the ceiling fan is so nice.
I love that.
I also love the very next line. At this point, we're just going through the whole song.
I think so, yeah.
We could live so happily if no one knows that you're with me.
I'm just kidding,
but really, kind of.
I love that so much.
I'm just kidding, but really.
Yeah. It's so... if you want to go and be stupid, don't do it in front of me. And if you don't want to cry to my music, don't make me hate you prolifically. Damn, dude. So fucking... Ugh. So good. I mean, like all of these songs. I mean, I even really loved Sharpest Tool, and that one's like that one's a slower song. But I know you're not the sharpest tool in the shed. We had sex. I met your best friends. Then a bird flies by and you forget. Oh man. And then I literally like like to go back to talking about her melodic choices, the like climb into the chorus of we were going right, then he took a left me with a lot of shit to second guess. I love that. That's this climb in. You just kind of go, ooh, where is it going?
It feels so good. Like it just, the way she writes her melodies feels good to the body.
Yes. It scratches an itch in my brain. It just makes my brain go brrr.
Yeah. It makes me start talking nonsense.
Yeah. 100%.
I love Bedchem. I love it. And like, you know, we were just talking about like, you know, in taste, she's not like, you know, oh, he went down on me. But in this one, she goes right for it and she goes, my favorite line in the whole thing. I mean, there's a lot of good ones, but come right on me. I mean, camaraderie.
Yeah. Yeah. So good. I remember her saying that like she had the idea for Bedchem, like she was sharing a bed with her friend, like in a hotel or something like that. And like she said that like she just like slept really they both slept really well that night. Like nobody woke the other person up because they were like tossing and turning, or they weren't like like fighting for covers or whatever. And then she said something like, oh, we have really good bed chem. And then she thought, oh, that would be a really cool song idea, so she wrote that down. And I think that it is such an it really is such an interesting idea. Like I bet we'll like chemistry wise, I think we'll do so well together. And I know that this song is another one people like to add or put a lot of the lore behind the speculation of when she met Barry Keoghan. I think that's how you say his name. I don't know.
Yeah.
And
like that.
Yeah, like there are pictures of the night that they met, and she was in a sheer dress. So it literally says, I was in a sheer dress the day that we met. We were both in a rush. We talked for a sec. Your friend hit me up so we could connect. And what are the odds you'd send me a text? And now she's like manifesting that he's oversized. Like, I think that's so cool. I do think it's so nice to hear or to see a woman like own her sexuality, but like,
yes,
like not, and I love women that are overtly sexual too. Like I have no problem with either situation. I think that like, this is like, there's just something like charming about it. Like I'm not sitting there like, ooh, I'm like, oh yeah, girl, I know what you're talking about.
Like, yeah. Well, and okay, so 100% too, like I am gravitating towards that and like the openness about the sexuality. And like I said, it makes me feel sexy to listen to this music.
Yes. Yeah.
Like I feel sexy and confident listening to our music. And I think that's something special to capture in music. But I also get so upset because there's so many people who like, okay, so she went on her tour and like all these parents are like, oh my God, it's sexual.
Yeah,
I'm like, did you not listen to the music?
And
then like there were parents who were like, it's not my job to listen to the music. Like you're bright and colorful and you're a girl and you're pop. And so like I should be able to take my kid to, and it's like, no, it's not made for you. Like,
yeah.
I love that she continues to be so open with her sexuality despite everybody. Like, I think there were parents like actually trying to sue her.
Oh my God.
About her concerts because they were sexual.
Yeah, that's so stupid. I can't.
Honestly, I don't think they stand a chance.
Oh, fuck no. Like, literally listen to the fucking lyrics. If you didn't, then that's on you, you dumbass. Like, I feel no sympathy. I mean, if like to go into some of like her like more somber music following that, like I love Dumb and Poetic. I think that's such a good song because I think we've all dated a dick, dude. We have all dated that artist fucking dick that thinks that like they've tried mushrooms, so they're just like they're like on a different level.
They're God's gift to the planet.
Dude, literally. The like, and she starts off the lyrics with the opening with the name of the song in the first line. You're so dumb and poetic. It's just what I fall for. I like the aesthetic. Every self-help book, you've already read it. Cherry pick lines like they're words you invented. Dude, we both know people like that.
Yeah. I was reading, I had the second part, gold star for highbrow manipulation and love everyone is your favorite quotation. Try to come off like you're soft and well-spoken. Jack off to lyrics by Leonard Cohen.
The way that like 8 different men come to mind when I think about this song. Oh my fucking God, dude. Like I'm getting mad for her because like I'm pissed that we all have to deal with men like this. Oh, man.
It's so sad that I bet you anything you could ask any woman listening to this song.
Dude.
Who came to mind when you heard that?
Yeah, exactly. Which of your exes remind you of this? Or is this person current in your life? Literally, just because you talk like one doesn't make you a man. Oh! It's so, oh my God. Man.
Just because you leave like one doesn't make you a man.
And like I love how in the second verse she talks about like, oh, you know, that like sad tortured artist vibe that like so many dudes have. Like that's what she starts talking about. Like, you're so sad, there's no communication, but baby, you put us in this situation. You're running so fast from the hearts that you're breaking. Save all your breath for your floor meditation. You're so empathetic. You'd make a great wife, and I promise the mushrooms aren't changing your life. Well, you crashed the car and abandoned the wreckage. Fuck with my head like it's some kind of fetish. Man, I love it. And you know what? There's no bridge and like and then a final chorus, it's just verse, chorus, verse, chorus. I love it. It gets in and gets out. It says exactly what it needs to say. Oh, so good.
I love songs like that.
Me too.
It doesn't need some big bridge or anything. It's just
it's just
to the point.
Yeah, it's a thought. It's short and sweet.
Going on that list of like her deeper songs too. Lie to Girls, fucking.
Oh, yeah, dude. I love that song
I literally
too.
put down, you don't have to lie to girls if they like you. If they like you, they'll just lie to themselves.
Yes.
And then I just put, ouch.
Dude. You know what's crazy is like because of like things that were happening in like my sister's life, this like immediate song has like so many like thoughts that I feel when I hear it. Like, don't swear on your mom that it's the first drink you've had in like a month. Don't say it was just an isolated incident that happened once. There's no need to pretend. I've never seen an ugly truth that I can't bend. Oh, I've never seen an ugly truth I can't bend. Wow. My God. That's the other thing too, is that like, when we really like somebody, we'll just fucking make up excuses in our own fucking head. You don't need to fucking lie to me, dude. Yeah. I will make those excuses because I'm embarrassing. I do it to myself.
That was something that I had to break through, and fortunately I'm in a really good relationship now, but I was in a 6-year relationship that I should not have been in because I kept lying to myself.
Yeah. 100%. I feel like this song really could have been on Emails I Can't Send. Like, yeah, it very much fits that same,
I wonder if she wrote it for it and it just like kind of carried over to this album.
I do wonder. Yeah. I love how she said, like, it's lucky for you. I'm just like my mother and my sisters and all my friends. The girl outside the strip club getting her tarot cards read. We love to read the cold, hard facts and swear they're incorrect. We love to mistake butterflies for cardiac arrest.
Oof.
Damn. My God, dude. Heartbreaking.
Well, moving on from the sad, Juno is another one of my favorites.
Fuck. Dude, immediately when I first heard the album, I was like, Juno. Oh, this is my favorite song, I think. I love the whole concept of the name is so like, oh, you like somebody so much, you're like, I'm going to let him get me pregnant. And so like she just thought it was and this is like another testament to her like creative and like very funny comedic like writing style where she's like, instead of just saying like, man, I'd let you knock me up, she's like, I'd let you make me Juno. Because of the fucking movie where the girl gets pregnant. I think that's so good.
It's so clever.
I think it's just so like melodically, it's also just so nice to hear on the ears. Want to try out. I say to
Leo all the time.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Because we both have baby fever. And so like I'll say to Leo all the time, like, one of me is cute, but two though.
Dude, I love that line so much. I know you want my touch for life. If you love me right, then who knows? I might let you make me Juno.
I know.
Yeah, dude. Literally, I love the second verse. I showed my friends, then we high-fived. Sorry if you feel I objectified. Can't help myself. Hormones are high. Give me more than just butterflies. I love that. Mm-hmm. And then the whole... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I get caught on stream all the time though, because like while I'm on stream, like I just kind of like sing lines here or there, and for some reason the line I always sing in this song, like I'll be silent and then I just go, I'm so fucking horny, and then I go,
I love the fucking bridge so much because it's like such it's such a break from the like upbeat, you kind of make me wanna fall in love. Literally, adore me, hold me and explore me. Oh my God, so good. I remember the first time I heard it, I like actually screamed because it was so good. Oh, yeah, such a good song. I could listen to it over and over and over and over again. And
then of course, there's the the viral part from that too. That's the have you ever tried this one?
Yes, that was.
She does different positions every night.
Yes,
and it's just
I
watched montages of it.
I saw somebody was making a calendar where they like did like an illustration of every position she did. Which I think is so funny because that like became like nonsense outros were like the big thing last tour, and this tour was what's the sex position she's gonna try to do. which I think is so funny. And also like the way that Have You Ever Tried This One became like a TikTok sound, which I think is really cool. Man. And then so she releases her deluxe version, which came out on Valentine's Day, immediately 15 minutes. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I love this song, but I can do a lot in 15 minutes. A lot of pretty boys, a lot of funny business. Take a couple bucks, turn them into millions. That's so good. Only gonna take 2 to make you, or I can do a lot with 15 minutes. Only gonna take 2 to make you finish. Piss some people off. Show them what they're missing. You know I can't. Or yeah. I love that. I think that that's so smart. I definitely think 15 minutes definitely could have been on the record. I remember, I think I was watching like Anthony Fantano was talking or was like reviewing the deluxe, and like he played this song twice in a row all the way through because he liked it so much.
Yeah.
Because
it's a great fucking song.
It's so good. Also, what I thought was I really loved singing Please, Please, Please with Dolly Parton. I thought it was so sweet. Also, any of you bitches that were having something to say about Dolly Parton's voice, dude, she's like old as hell. And also,
she sounds fucking great.
She sounds amazing. I want to know what the fuck you sound like now, because you probably don't sound like what she sounds. Ugh, dude, get on my face with that shit. I also love that like she took out the heartbreak is one thing, my ego's another. Yeah, she goes with I beg you don't embarrass me like the others. I know probably because Dolly was like, I don't really do the cursing thing. But I love the music video of her like killing him because he ended up embarrassing her, which ended up fucking being the case in real life. Oh my God.
Yep.
Amazing. Also, I think Busy Woman is so good.
That one's really good too.
Yeah.
All of this album is, oh, I just hit my mic. All of it is so good.
It like, really, honestly, a masterclass of a fucking record. I think it's a no skip album for me. I think it's fantastic. And what I think is really annoying is like when an artist makes a record this strong and it has this much success, oftentimes like a year plus out, people will start to say things like, this is like coworker music. And like, heaven forbid people like to have fun. What the fuck does that even mean, dude? What the fuck does that even mean? Like, to put this in the same like category as quote unquote coworker music is just absolutely insane, because like there's something for everybody with this album. I think that like the people that are really into like good lyricism, there's something for you here. There are people that are really into having a good time and good vibes, there's something for you here. For those people that really like smart instrumentation, there's that in here too. Like, I love the key change going on in Please Please Please, because it's so like I think it's like, is it like a half step up in the chorus and then it drops the half step back down in the verse? I think that's so cool. And it almost does that thing that in YouTube videos you'll often see like a lot of like short like video edits in order to like re-trick your brain into like staying focused. It almost does that with the song, because you know so many people are like, I don't know, like have like
focus.
Horrible attention spans. I know we didn't talk about Espresso specifically, but I feel like enough has been said about that song. I do like it. I think it's fun as hell. That's That Me
it's
Espresso.
A fun song. Yeah.
Someone said somewhere where it's like, instead of That's That Me Espresso, she should have said That's That Blonde Espresso, because like blonde espresso exists. You can get it at Starbucks if you want to try it.
Yeah. And she said,
"Oh, go ahead."
But I like this.
Yeah. I mean,
that was on Hot Ones.
Yeah.
She was
she did say that on there. Yeah. I think like, yeah, sure, she could have put that on there, but I also think That's That Me Espresso is fun too. Like, who gives a fuck? She doesn't take herself too seriously.
That was just more fun for me to say.
Yeah, I think that like it's not a question at all about whether or not she can formulate a complete sentence. Like, clearly she's proven time and time again over these last 2 albums like that she is a fantastic lyricist, and that was a choice that she made, a very deliberate choice. And I think that it's fun as hell, and it's like, it's so popular, and it like, It was clearly made to be the opening single because right away it starts on the chorus. And I know, like, for a lot of songs now, especially to get that, I think you have to listen to a song for 30 seconds for it to count as a listen. To immediately start on the chorus, people will listen to that before they, like, so that seems to be, like, a tactic of the last, like, 5 years of streaming. Mm-hmm. But I think it works well. It doesn't feel forced. And the song's under 3 minutes, you know?
Yeah.
But she says, like, even with all of, like, the short and sweet songs, like, they are all pretty damn short. Like, most of them are, like, under 3 minutes or right at about 3 minutes, but they say everything that they need to say. She leaves no stone unturned. I think that she articulates herself very well.
Yeah, that's insane because there's so much in there that it doesn't feel like you're listening to it for a long time, but it feels like there's so much more than 3 minutes in it.
Yeah. I think it's also such a nice juxtaposition to, like, last year was such a great year for women in music because there's so many great albums that came out or that started to get a lot of attention. Like, that's when Chappell Roan started to pop off. Billie Eilish's last album came out around this time last year. And I think Hit Me Hard and Soft didn't go out of its way to be, like, a radio-friendly album. Most of the songs were, like, quite long for pop standards, like 5 minutes plus. And this album came out after in August, and that was, like, such a nice juxtaposition where I just felt like specifically, like, Hit Me Hard and Soft and Short and Sweet were, like, both, like, they just, like, scratched both itches in my brain that I needed scratched, which I thought was so cool because, like, you know, they all fit in the same, like, if this is what 2020's music sounds like, I love it. I'm a fan, and I'll be a fan for the rest of my life. When I have, like, my kids in my car, they'll be like, Mom, why do you always want to play this old ass shit? And I'll be like, because it's good. Leave me alone.
Yeah, this is going to be, it definitely is going to be, like, one of those nostalgic songs that people go back and listen to.
Yeah, I think this album has a lot of, it has a lot of staying power, I think, which is great. I love that. I love that for her. I think it's dumb as fuck that people were, like, offended that she'd broke a record from, like, the Beatles. Like, okay, dude. And the way that people were like, no, that's not fair because they think that because she makes the music she makes and that somehow the Beatles make quote unquote better music or whatever. If you listen to all those, this is a whole other rant, but the songs that all were doing, like, chart crazy numbers back then were like Love Me Do. Sabrina Carpenter could write Love Me Do, but could John Lennon write Bedchem? You let me know. Oh my God.
It just, I mean, it's that whole fucking dumb and poetic thing coming back around.
Dude. And I'm not shitting on the Beatles, but, like, the way that men will ride the dick of the Beatles so hard for, like, the Beatles were also only around for a very short amount of time, and their best albums were not the ones that charted. And you can like those albums, but, like, to take away her hard work because you personally think that that's not allowed. Hey, dude, it is actually. Yeah, she's allowed to break that record. So yeah, eat a dick. Like,
well, on that fun note,
yeah.
Eat a dick. We're gonna take a break.
Amen.
We're going to take a short break. We're going to hear from our fellow podcasts, and then we'll be back with our final thoughts.
Yeah.
Welcome to Know Your Rights, a music podcast from two guys who know just enough about songwriting to start a podcast about.
Follow Rob
and Colton
as each week we dive into a different band or songwriter and discuss what makes them great, okay,
or otherwise.
Music is law,
and we know our rights.
Streaming bi-monthly wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. Know Your Rights, a Bassbone Entertainment podcast. What happens when you get a bunch of obsessive music lovers sitting around a table and talking about every aspect in music? You get the Untitled Mixtape, Join Dango, Lewis, and Lorenzo in this educational but enjoyable podcast that encourages everyone to branch out and expand what they listen to. From deep dives to letting you know what is a bop or flop, the Untitled Mixtape Boys are sure to take care of your music needs every Wednesday on your favorite podcast platform. The Untitled Mixtape, a Bassblown Entertainment podcast.
And we're back. This has been a really fun episode.
I agree.
I love her album. If you're looking for a good serotonin boost, like definitely go check this album out.
Yes.
If you want to feel sexy and confident in your body, go check this album out.
Yes.
I don't know. It's like a weird affirmation album too. Like it's not necessarily in the way that it's like telling, like I'm saying things out loud too, but like listening to this music does make me feel more confident for some reason.
Yeah, 100%.
I can't explain it,
Yeah.
but I feel cute and sexy after listening to this.
Yes.
So what would you say is your favorite song if you had to pick one?
I'm gonna go with Juno, man. I love that song so much.
That's my favorite too.
It just makes me happy when I hear it, dude. Because I am so fucking horny. Goddamn. Shit.
I love that song so much. It's like the perfect mix between like horny and cute.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes.
Like it's sexy, but she's also in love.
Yeah.
But also like, yeah, let me have your baby. And just the cleverness of I might let you make me Juno is
It makes me giggle. I love that. I just love
top notch.
Yeah. 100%.
I don't think I even have to ask what favorite album is because
Yeah. It is
I'm
short
pretty
and
sure
sweet.
it's short and sweet.
It's true. The rumors are true.
Emails I Can't Send is really, really good.
Yes. My favorite
Short
song
and
on that
Sweet
album
is
is
my
Tornado
favorite.
Warnings. Check it out, people.
Yeah. Definitely go check out Emails I Can't Send, but Short and Sweet is top notch, and it just makes me excited because every album she puts out seems to get better and better.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait for what's next. I really can't. This is awesome.
Yeah. What would you say you take away from her? Like, what's your biggest lesson?
Owning your space. However much it is that you actually take up. Yeah. Own it.
Hell yeah.
Whether it is shorts. I am not much taller than her. So, yeah, just like be unapologetically fucking you, man. And also, too, like, I mean, I think the other thing I'm going to take from this is I'm going to try the approach of coming up with like really cool and clever song titles and write to those titles and see kind of where that takes me, because I've thought about doing that for years and then I never end up doing it. And I'm really looking to like switch things up in my life right now, especially as a songwriter. So I have a whiteboard and I think I might do that tonight. Let's just see what comes up.
Yes. I love it.
Yes.
I would say I take the have fun in your songwriting. Like,
Yeah.
there's, like we said, there's her very honest songwriting, but she just writes fun shit.
Yeah.
She has fun. She's, she puts clever stuff in there. Like, you can hear her comedic timing in her writing.
100%.
Like, and I think we need more of that. I think I've been so into like the serious music that breaks my heart for so long. And this is just nice. It's like a breath of fresh air for me.
Yeah, and what I love about Short and Sweet is that there are moments of reflection. There are moments of a little bit of allowing you to have a little bit of a sad girl vibe. But like in general, it's not letting that stuff be the thing that defines you. And I want to be far less serious in my songwriting too. It seems like so much fun.
Nonsense. It was like the perfect like thing, like how she was just like singing. You said she had so many ideas, and then she's like, at the end they kept it in the song. She goes, "This isn't gonna make the album."
Yeah.
Like, she was just having fun with it, and it blew the fuck up.
Yeah. And like, I love how that being like the big window people had into discovering Sabrina Carpenter as an artist was the thing that she kind of capitalized on in her lyrics, like writing style for Short and Sweet. Was this like tongue-in-cheek, kind of flirty, kind of sexy, and also just like unserious and fun vibe. Like, I think it's really cool.
I also love the fact that like when people come to sue her or whatever, she just makes fucking jokes.
Yeah.
Like she's I'm sure, like, you know, she wrote that one song about like how much it hurt her that people were like saying things about her.
Yeah.
But
because
like
I like
the fucking yeah, but the fucking like Jesus was a carpenter to the, the whole Catholic Church thing.
Love that.
Yes, queen.
Yes. Big fan.
So yeah, that's our podcast on Sabrina Carpenter. We cannot recommend enough that you go listen to, particularly her last 2 albums.
Yes.
Just yeah, like a masterclass in songwriting, honestly.
100%.
I can't say enough about her writing. And if we had 5 more hours, I'd go through her whole album line by line. But
Yeah, exactly.
Who are we doing next month, Kasey?
I think we are going to be doing a folk artist named Amethyst Kaya.
Nice. I'm excited. Gonna get some folk music in, which is gonna be nice.
I agree. I'm
I
ready
feel
for
like
it.
folk music is healing to me.
Yeah.
So
I feel the same way.
all right, everyone. Well, thank you for joining us. We will see you guys next time. We hope you enjoyed this podcast. We hope you go listen to Sabrina Carpenter. We hope you walk away feeling hot and sexy like you are. And we'll talk to you next time.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.
If you're looking for fun events, awesome music, and enjoyable podcasts, then look no further. The Basebone Entertainment family has you covered. With so many talented people in our community, it was only right that we not only bring you events, but all sorts of awesome entertainment. Follow Basebone on social media or join our Discord community to stay updated and engaged in everything. That is at Baseblown on social media and discord.gg/Baseblown for our Discord. Basebone Entertainment, bringing you more than just bass in your face.